heart chokes. Like Midas, everything you touch turns gold. You dance in the hallway like nobody's told. You say my name so softly, like it's a little word. Yeah. Every time you're near me, all my doubts get blurred. You take my day, turn it bright, brand new. Every look you give says I choose you. I get more than anybody ever could. You get me. In a way I never understood. And every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know. I get you. Yeah, you talk about your dreams, eyes wide, shining clear. And you tell the wildest stories I could listen for years. And you roll your eyes and kiss me when I'm stubborn and proud. You pull me back to center when my thoughts get loud. You take my fear, turn it into truth. Yeah. Every time you touch me, I remember you. I get more than anybody ever could. You get me. I never understood every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know I get. When the world feels heavy on my shoulders, you lean in. Lay your head right over mine. You say we can carry this together. And just like that, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, I get you every day, all the way. That's when I'm free. I get you more than anybody ever could. You get me. In a way I never understood. Every little smile, every little move you do, baby. I don't need a reason. I just know I get you. I get you. I get you, you get me, and I get you.
What up, YouTube? It's your girl, DeeDee. Welcome back to another live stream. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Friday. It is Friday, y'all, April 3rd. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody watching. I appreciate you guys for being here. Listen, as you come into the building, make sure you hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. Make sure as you come into the building, you are hitting the like button. That definitely helps the channel out. Also, if you are new to the channel, you haven't subscribed, but you like the content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, y'all. Make sure you are doing that as you come into the building. All right. So, yeah, we are back in the building, y'all. I don't know, child. My camera and things are still having issues, but we're trying to fix it. Please bear with me, y'all. Can y'all hear me okay? One in the chat if y'all can hear me good. Because I don't. One in the chat if y'all can hear me good. Child, it's been rough, child. I don't know what's going on. You be getting all this equipment and these cameras and all this shit still be messing up, y'all.
Oh my God.
It don't matter how much money you spend on stuff for YouTube camera, it's still gonna mess up at some point. You are not foolproof. Like, I don't care. It's not about the amount of money you spend on stuff. You still gonna have issues when you doing this type of stuff. So please bear with me, y'all. I'm still trying to work on it. It's moving slow. Let me see something. I appreciate you guys for being here. So make sure you guys hit the like button. At least hit the like button as you come into the building. We're going to hop into these topics that I've been seeing on social media. I want to give my thoughts on it. So make sure you guys chime in the chat as well. Give me your thoughts. Shout out to Omega 86641. Shout out to you. Good afternoon to you as well. Ryan from the 8. What's going on, Ryan? Happy Friday to you. UFO Kamikaze 1. How are you? Lorenzo Redmond in the building. We got JSU Tiger 07. What's going on? How are you? 225 out. I don't know that for, I guess, is that for Alabama or something? I don't know, but shout out to you. Thank you so much for being here. Captain Caveman in the building. What's going on? How are you? Says, I'm here at the end of the week. I had to give up $40 on Monday. There you go. What's going on, Captain Caveman? Derek Thomas, I'm sorry, 79. Latrell M in the building. Shout out to you, Trey Jones Sr. What's going on? Technology is going to deceive a lot of people in the future. It's already starting now. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Make sure you hit the like button on your way in. So I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna go ahead and get into the topics at hand. Definitely chime in. I want to hear your thoughts on this. I want to first touch on this Jaden Ivey situation. They're saying Jaden Ivey's wife is not talking to him. His family is kind of abandoning him and all that. I don't know how true that is, but this is the reports that are out here. I want to play a clip from Jada Black. Shout out to Jada Black, who covered this part of the story. And I want to get y'all thoughts on this whole issue of him being released from the Chicago Bulls, if I'm not mistaken, right? That was the team, Chicago Bulls, for his gay pride comments, y'all. What's y'all thoughts on that? I thought it was crazy, to be honest with you. But I want to get into what Jada Black had to say about it. And then I want to get y'all thoughts. So make sure you chime in the chat. This is crazy. Oh, he says no. Alabama, the 22 AL, the 225, my area code, Baton Rouge. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. So Lorenzo says he's not familiar. So yeah, this is NBA player Jaden Ivey. He was released from the Chicago Bulls, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the team, over his gay pride comments. And people are there are difference of opinions on this. People are saying, listen, just keep that to yourself, play the game. You know, they have rules and all of this stuff. So he was waived. He was officially with the Chicago Bulls. He was waived on March the 30th. It says the team cited conduct detrimental to the team. So they're saying his conduct was detrimental to the team as a reason for his release. Which followed a series of Instagram live videos where Ivy made anti-LGBTQ comments and criticized the NBA's support of Pride Month. So I want to play a little bit of that first, and just to kind of give you guys an idea or some context of what actually happened. So I'm gonna play a video. One of the videos come from Jada Black. The other one is a channel called Jeffy Island. And he kind of like broke it down, and I want to play that. So those of you who are not familiar, it will kind of bring you up to speed on what actually happened. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that first video up. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Let's get into it. Here we go.
Everything, yeah, I seen that. Chicago Bulls are waiving Jaden Ivey after he spoke out against the NBA for promoting Pride Month and unrighteousness. So the Bulls waived Jaden Ivey. I don't know exactly what like sparked everything that's going on. I think it's some stuff that like been happening behind closed doors, but it's been pretty wild, everything that's came out today. So he went on IG Live and he put out this video as well as some other ones. I'll play it in a sec.
The world can proclaim LGBTQ, right? They proclaim Pride Month and the NBA. They proclaim it. They show it to the world. They say, come join us for Pride Month to celebrate unrighteousness. They proclaim it. They proclaim it on the billboard. They proclaim it in the streets. So how is it that one can't speak righteousness? How is it one that how are they to say that man, this man is crazy?
I'm not the Jay I used to be, but the old Jay is dead. I'm alive in Christ. No matter what the basketball setting is, I'm born again, the Holy Spirit, and I've been saved by Jesus Christ. No matter what, how many DMPs I don't get to play, or no matter how many points I scored, those things are a temporary thing.
So the first thing that came out was that video, and a lot of people had mixed opinions on it. This was one tweet. This is what's wrong with today. You're asked to join to celebrate something that's not of your own values. Then once you speak out about it, you're punished. And then you have this. You can get caught with guns, drugs, beating your spouse, and your NBA team will still find a way to keep you on a roster. If you act like a clear-minded Christian speaking biblical truth, they'll cut you. NBA's terrible product and demonic. You could just kind of go down the thread. There's so many different tweets, discussions, all that you can see. I kind of want to show you everything that's going on. So the Bulls waived them. They put out this tweet, and it says, Chicago Bulls announced today the team has waived guard Jaden Ivey due to conduct detrimental to the team. Big thing is he actually did a recent interview, and he kind of opened up about his mental health. It's actually, like, I watched the thing, it's actually like really deep. And keep in mind, this guy's mom, she's the head coach for Notre Dame. They just lost to, I forgot who they lost to already. They just lost to UConn, I believe. I think, because I didn't really watch too much women's this year. But so keep in mind, this guy's mother is the head coach of Notre Dame women's basketball. So he shared a lot of really vulnerable things, and this is the first thing I saw. This might give you a different viewpoint on everything after seeing this video.
You
And his mom hasn't spoke out at all. So keep that in mind as well. His mom hasn't said a word.
felt what true love felt like, and as I grew up, there were some, traumas that I went through that I don't really, explain to people. But I definitely was sexually abused as a kid. There were some things that I, saw, that I don't really even talk about, but I know there was, a seed that Satan tried to, use at an early age, and that was tough, obviously, growing up, but just tried to, seek the wrong things. Even in high school, I, tried, sleeping with women, to fulfill a certain void in my heart that, as I continued to, just grow as a man, I was trying to fill a void. Slept with women. I tried drinking alcohol. I tried going out to party. Tried to, fit in with the world. Basically, I tried to, dress like other people. I tried to, look like other people. I didn't, necessarily felt love before. As I, went through college, even in the league, before I, married my wife, we had went through, trials together. I dealt with anger. She had to deal with a lot of anger that I had in my heart. That turned into, me somewhat being a abuser. And I'm not saying that was it, but I there was things that I tried to fill in my heart. There was voids that I tried to fill in, and I'm so grateful for my wife, because she's been, me and my fiance at the time, we're about to have our first son, Noah. Throughout that whole year, I still struggle with the same things: drinking. I had a pornography addiction that I dealt with it just wasn't working. I tried it, nothing else was working. And I remember we were in Denver, Colorado, and I sat in the room, and I'm like just bawling. I'm just crying. Like, I don't know how to stop this pornography addiction. I'm about to have a child. I have to grow up. I have to, there's big things happening in my life, and all I could think about was just like my son having to go through problems that I went through. And I
Now, I want to pause it here for just a second, because what this sounds like is a person who's being accountable. This sounds like a man who is acknowledging his faults, his flaws, and everything. He's just laying it all on the table. But somehow, somewhere, somebody will try to weaponize that because he's a man, in my opinion. Because when women do the same, everybody come out the woodworks. Oh my God, God is going to protect you. It's going to be better. This and that and the third. But this sounds like somebody who's laying his struggles out on the table. He's being super transparent and accountable for his actions, and realizing that he needs to change and work on them. If that's not an example of accountability, I don't know what is. But the ultimate issue that they're having here is because he spoke out, which I don't even think what he said was so bad or harsh. He spoke out on his beliefs and what he does not accept and what is not something that he agrees with. Just like everybody else could speak out on what they believe, what they don't believe, but when it comes to this whole LGBTQ, you can't have an opposing view. It doesn't even have to be negative. You can't have an opposing view. You have to side with them or you get canceled. I think that's not what freedom of speech is, and respecting people's opinions and boundaries and standards. As a Christian, he's a Christian. That's his beliefs. He said he's been born again. So of course he's going to have those views just like many others. But why is it anytime you specify that you don't agree with a certain lifestyle or certain whatever, you have to get fired, canceled? I think that is horrible. Now, whether you agree with him or not, it's just his opinion of what he thinks for himself. You got to hush and keep your feelings and thoughts on the back burner. You can't have a freedom of speech when it's something that is not accepted by the masses. You have to be quiet and and reserve what you feel and your thoughts and your standards to yourself because it's an opposing view. As long as it's for it, you can say whatever you want. You could criticize people who are not for that. You can criticize others who are not on board with that. And it's okay. It's acceptable. People champion that. But the minute you have an opposing view, God forbid, you a Christian and you believe in God and godly values and morals, and you don't see that as something that's for you and you speak on it, you get canceled, you get condemned. They release him. Like somebody mentioned in the comments, oh, you can abuse your wife. But see, this is where abusing your wife and domestic violence and drinking and driving drunk and all that, risking in your life and other people, that's when that take a back seat to this stuff. That none of that is not as important when you don't agree with the LGBTQ stuff. When you don't agree with that, oh my God, we got to do something. But all this other stuff that women in general too highly deem as important. If a man is abusive, the way they talk about that all takes a back seat to somebody having an opposing view on this type of stuff. That's mind-boggling to me. That's my take on it. Now, listen, one could argue that, look, that's your job. You shouldn't be having these opinions because you know where they stand. But listen, my thing is this: if he was on his job, meaning on the basketball court, pushing an agenda, pushing something on other teammates, and trying to convince them of this, and rallying for certain things, and I could see that being a violation, because you're not supposed to be doing that. What you believe and what you pursue in your own life. He was in his car, in his personal property, speaking as an individual about what he don't agree with. And why does that have bearing on his job? I don't, just like when you go to work, there's certain things you can't do at your work, the place of business. You reserve that for when you're in your own personal private space. When you're at home and you want to do certain, whatever, that should be your personal business and your right to do. But on the job, you can't do certain things. You can't say certain things because it could get you fired, disqualified, whatever. But if you're on your own personal time and you're speaking your own truth or whatever it is, what's the point of having freedom of speech if you can't be free to speak without consequences? When everybody else who could say whatever they want against other people and their views and is championed. I just think that's crazy. That's a slippery slope down to nowhere. Captain Kate, man, thank you for the super chat. Says, I believe him. I told an ex one time I didn't mean to deal with another female. I was young and just trying to fill a void. Don't laugh at me, sis. So you said you told an ex one time that you didn't mean to deal with another. So you didn't mean you was cheating on her. And you told her you didn't mean to deal with another female because you was young. And you was trying to fill a void, all right. Oh, yeah, you was trying to fill a void. Okay. I had to laugh a little. I'm sorry. Thank you, Captain K-Man, for the super chat. Right. Mm-hmm. I don't know if those are quite the same. Oh, my God. You was trying to fill a void, okay. And she was supposed to be okay with that, right? It's Captain K-Man. A hot mess. Captain K-Man also says, but seriously, I respect him and pray for him. Okay, I believe you. I believe you. Oh, my God. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, but listen. Yeah, this is interesting, though. Let's continue.
Just called out to Jesus. So I'm like, Jesus, just please change my life. Like, do something miraculous. Just change my life, please.
So this clip kind of came out like, I don't know. I think I saw it was like a week or two ago, if I'm not mistaken. It might have came out earlier. I'm not too sure. And a lot of people You know, it didn't get as much traction as it's getting now, because now, you know, he went on IG Live, he had the outburst. He called out players. Like, he called out Steph Curry. Jaden Ivey on Steph Curry. He don't know Jesus. I pray he's saved in Jesus' name. All that stuff isn't going to matter on Judgment Day. All them rings he got, all them rings LeBron got, all them rings Jordan got, they're going to try to stop me, but I'm not. I'm going to keep speaking the truth.
Said your conduct is detrimental to the team. I haven't been with the team, right? I haven't been with the team because I've been rehabbing. So how is my conduct detrimental to the team? Where have I done detriment? Did the players did I say man, you suck? Did I say you suck to the players? That would be detrimental to the team, right? Because I don't trust, and I'm saying the player sucks, and I'm on the same team as him, right? And he's my teammate. We're supposed to be teammates. We're supposed to be on the same team. We're supposed to be playing together, right? We're supposed to be passing the ball to each other, right? We're supposed to be doing handoffs and ball screens, right? Christ.
This is the IG Live. I think at one point he was talking, the flight attendant was like, hey, bro.
All I'm preaching is about Jesus Christ, and they wave me. They say I'm crazy, right? I'm psycho. That don't add up. That's not adding up, right? Yeah, but God let these happen. God let these things happen for a reason. May His will be done. May His will be done. May His will be done. Not my will. My will is done. When I came into the league, all I wanted to do was win championships and get millions of bucks. Millions of bucks. Get that next contract. Get them cars. Get all them cars. That's all I wanted. When I came into the league, that's all I wanted. Lord, show me. You. What good is it to gain the world, yet forfeit your soul? What good is it? What good is it to not follow the Lord, to not obey His commandments? What good? It's not good. What good is it driving the store with the Ferrari you only get to drive that Ferrari for the time being, but still, like, what good is it gonna do for you on Judgment Day if you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ and you don't obey His commandments? That's why you got Steph Curry, and he not even surrendered, and y'all believe he's a Christian. I believe he's a Christian because he wrote Philippians 4:13. Y'all think he's a Christian, but he cursing just like the world. Friendship with the world is enmity with God. He's friendship with the world. He don't know Jesus. And I pray he comes to the truth, that him and his family will be saved in Jesus' name. Because all that stuff is not going to matter on Judgment Day. All them rings he got, all them rings LeBron got, all them rings Michael Jordan got. It's not going to matter on Judgment Day if you don't know Jesus and your name's not written in the book of life. That's why everybody around me turning their back on me, right? Because of my faith in him, in the Son of God. That's why I didn't get myself waved. I was in the gym today. I was rehabbing. I was lifting, doing what was required of me in my job, doing what was required of me, doing whatever they said to do, doing whatever was required of me. I could have quit on my own self, but they kicked me out.
I think that was the flight attendant who told him to get off live.
So what do you guys think about it? They're saying he's crazy. He has issues. He spoke out on issues that he's had. But he mentioned his family is turning against him. I want to get to the Jada Black clip where he's talking about this, and that, you know, he's going to speak on it about his wife and all of these things. But this speaks to another issue that, you know, hey, they kicked him out, right? They were saying he was only with the Bulls for less than 2 months, having been acquired from the Detroit Pistons before the February 2026 trade deadline. He played in only 4 games for Chicago and was already shut down for the season with the knee injury. So that's why he said, because he had a knee injury before his relief. Ivey is now an unrestricted free agent available to sign with any team once he clears waivers. So he can sign with another team eventually if he wants to. But, you know, I just wanted to bring it up because I see this all over social media. People are talking about it. And, you know, once again, there are difference of opinions. People agree with him. Some people say he's crazy, and all of these types of things. But let me I want to pull up this video from Jada Black. Listen to what he's saying about the wife situation, child. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Here we go.
What's going on, guys? Jada Black here. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about a very sad situation unfolding with NBA player Jaden Ivey. I want people to understand I have no problem with people speaking their mind and being honest. And the sad thing is more and more people are being fake for money, and they are pretending to be religious when they allow things to happen. Now, I'm not one of those people that thinks that if you're a professional athlete, you need to speak on every social issue. But if he feels this way, he feels this way. There's nothing anybody can do. Why should he be forced to participate in something that he doesn't believe? Jaden Ivey whole life is being turned upside down because of what he said about the gay community. As if the gay community doesn't speak on other people and disrespect other people, right? But he spoke his mind on something. I don't even think he was coming from a disrespectful place. He was just saying, hey, this is what I believe. You know, they're trying to have like, I guess like gay day, celebration, even though, isn't it, let's see, the Alphabet Community Month is in June, but it's April. Why are you doing that on that particular day? This lets me know that whoever is high up in the Bulls organization is probably a part of that community. I looked at the comments that the coach of the Chicago Bulls made, and it looks to me like somebody high up in the team might be part of that community or have family who are part of that community. And they wasted no time cutting him. Mm-hmm. Now again, Anthony Edwards made fun of some zesty activities. He wasn't cut. But I guess Jaden Ivey could be cut because he's not considered a major part of that organization. They could have suspended him, right? They could have fined him, but to release him just shows you who you can criticize in this country and who you can't. And now Jaden Ivey has admitted that his own wife,
oh God,
Becky,
oh my God, okay,
is ghosting him.
Sure.
His own family wants nothing to do with him.
That's crazy.
Even though he was raised seemingly in a Christian household. Those same people who agree with him behind the scenes are calling him crazy. This is a young man with children. He's married to a woman he thought loved him. No, that heifer was using you. Your family was using you, and this is proof. How do you abandon your family member for things you probably believe yourself? And they're angry with him because they feel like he messed up their bag, because they can care less about him. This just tells y'all, man, a lot of these guys have a lot of fake people around them, whether it's the person that they're sleeping with, family members. These people are fake. They're only there for the good times. But when times get tough, they get to running and act like you're the problem.
Listen, look, I say this all the time, even family members, they're only there for what they can benefit off of you. A lot of them are not sincere in supporting you. They just supporting you because they can get a check or they can get something out of you. Same thing with these women. They are only there because of the money. They could care less about your well-being. If anything, if this is true, that his wife is not, ghosting him and she's not talking to him and all that, you're the wife. You have a family with this man. How could you alienate him at this vulnerable point in his life? This is where the truth of who you are dealing with comes out. If this is true, I'm going to say allegedly that she's not talking to him. That is not the whole point of having someone by your side is that you can trust them, that they are solid, that you know that they have your back. He's in a vulnerable state, in my opinion, and this would be the time for you to be there and be his support when he needs you the most. It's easy when everything is good. Of course, it's easy when all the money is flowing and you're not getting criticized and everything is good. But it's the whole point of having somebody there is to share the good parts of life And also for them to be there to support you when things aren't so great. That's where the love part comes in, because when you are at your lowest and the people that's supposed to love you abandon you, what's the whole point of having them there? What's the whole point of them? What's the whole point? What's the whole point of having people who's supposed to love you and who are loyal to you to abandon you when the ish gets hard? When the rain starts to pouring? This is why that's why I say, can you stand the rain? Can you stand the rain? Yeah. When you need somebody to stand by you when the things get rough, are you going to abandon? Are you going to jump ship? Or are you really there for more than just what you can get out of me? Are you there because you really care? Or are you there because you just only there for what you can gain? Because when you can't gain anymore, you like, oh, I got to get out of here. I got to dip. This is too much. And unfortunately, a lot of people are in relationships with folks that they only there for what they can gain. It's a conditional relationship. It's based on conditions. The conditions that you can provide for me everything that I need and want whenever I want it. And women will give you a baby and give you all of this stuff and make it appear like they care. But when things get hard, because they will, life is ebbs and flows, ups and downs. It's never just like this. You're going to go through some shit. That's why I be saying, like, people act like a lot of people are delusional. This is why I don't think it's good to be delusional. A lot of people are delusional. They think that their lives supposed to be this constant flow of just greatness and whatever they want. No, people get sick. People die. People go through different hardships. People have things with their children. There's all kind of things that could occur in your life. We don't want them to negatively affect our lives, but it's life. And you just never know what life will hit you with. So the whole point, in my opinion, is having love with a person or loving somebody and you love them back, who's there for you for real. This is where the whole idea of love is lost in this day and age. Everybody's out here trying to get a bag and just trying to survive and take care of themselves. But they don't want to really truly love somebody and survive with the person. You want to survive on your own terms and be independent to do all the what y'all would call the F shit, the fuck shit. That's what, excuse my language, but I had to say it because you can't just say F shit. You got to say it. But that's what people want to be on this, this foolishness out here of being promiscuous and being free to go do some dumb stuff that don't really benefit you. And the things that really matter, they put on a back burner. And then when they're ready, or when they're run out of the foolishness and they're ready for something committed and serious, now you want somebody to come and pick up the pieces and take you seriously. This is why we talk about relationships and getting something that's real, because at the end of the day, that's what you're going to want. At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, most people want companionship. You want somebody to be there with you at the end of life. You want somebody that actually cares to be there for you, as opposed to all the screw buddies that you had who don't give a shit about you, or all of this stuff you're doing, nobody cares. And when it get down to the point of where it really matters, you're left to your lonesome. And that's not what most people want. You want somebody there to care for you when you need it the most, when you're in your most vulnerable state. That's when the love's supposed to be there, or shows up the most. And what I'm saying, a lot of people just like it go over their heads. It's like, oh, fuck all that. I don't want to hear. You don't want to hear none of that until. And listen, one thing I learned in life is that life is you can't. I mean, it could be complicated. It's great, but it could throw some curveballs. It could throw you some things that you wasn't prepared for, didn't think you would ever have to go through and shit. And wouldn't you want somebody there who's going to be supportive and there for you to be there to help you through whatever it is? That's what people, you hear so many celebrities who talk about this when they lost everything, when the ish hit the fan and they were going through their most toughest times. Everybody alienated them. Everybody jumped ship. Everybody left. The so-called friends that was like, oh, you my friend. Y'all was friends with the person while the money was flowing, while everything was good. Soon as the stuff hit the fan, they all disappeared. People have talked about being in a hospital, sick as a dog, trying to, live, damn near losing their lives, and none of their so-called friends showed up. Maybe one person out of all the people that said they loved them and cared for them showed up. Because they were only there for what they can gain. If they can't gain anything from you, they don't give a damn. They don't care about you for real. And this is why to me that's so important, and why a lot of people will not have it and miss out on it, because they're out here for superficial reasons, searching for things that at the end of the day is not going to matter. When you holding on to dear life, you ain't worried about a bag. You ain't worried about all this stuff that people worried about. No, you trying to just live. The most simplest things become the most important. The most simplest things become the most important. All this other shit that people chasing, none of that matters. You ask a person who's fighting for their life on, in on a chemo ward or somewhere where they're trying to just live and breathe and thrive. You ask them, do they care about a goddamn bag and who's making six figures and all this other dumb stuff that don't really matter? Dude, they would love for somebody to be there with them to comfort them. Even if it's their last moments, they want comfort. They want to be at peace knowing that somebody cared about them and that somebody's there to be there for them. The simplest things become the most important. All this other stuff really don't matter at the end of the day. And it's unfortunate that a lot of people are out here worried about the wrong things and they're missing it. And a lot of people won't realize it until it's the end. You don't realize it until you're on your deathbed, and then you realize what's important. You see. Of view through the glasses. Thank you for the super chat. Says you're always on point and I enjoy your content. I had a second to drop in and support. Peace and love to you and your family. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here and for supporting the channel. Thank you. Thank you, love. I appreciate you. But yeah. I mean, and thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, and this is where, I pride myself on, because I wasn't always at this place. I had to realize some things too and learn some things as a young woman as well. But I'm glad I'm here and I'm seeing what's most important and understanding that, because I think it's important. I think it's important to understand what's important and what's real and what you should be focused on. This is why, but I've never been the type of person, and I'm gonna get off myself, but I've never been the type of person to be so staunched on money and you need to have all this money. I never thought like that. You know what I mean? Because I'd rather prefer a person who cares about me than a person just having a whole lot of money, because I understand that that's just what you have. I don't care about what you have. That's yours. If anything, I would rather get it for myself, but I'd rather have a person who actually cares about me, because I know that is important. Because if it's just about your money, I know you're not going to care about my thoughts, my feelings. You're not going to care about me as a person. It's all about what you can get from me. And all I'm getting from you is some money. I don't look at money in that regard. I think we need money, of course, but it shouldn't be the end all be all. And it shouldn't be your main priority when it comes to how you feel about a person and how you want to treat a person and whether you care or love the person. I think love and how you treat a person is much more important than just money. Money comes and goes. You can get money. You can have money one day, lose it all. Lots of people have experienced that. Rich people have been broke and poor. They get it back. Money come and go, but the person that you don't, usually people don't experience real love in a lifetime. And if you do, you squander it and then you never get it again. So if you have somebody that cares for you and love you and really there for you for real, through thick and thin, good, bad, up and down, you better cherish them and appreciate them, baby, because it don't come time. Too many people ain't out here trying to look for that or giving that in this day and age. So if you have it, you better hold on to it to the end and cherish them and love them back and appreciate them, because people ain't getting that. I'm just saying. Blue X225, thank you for the super chat. Says happy Good Friday. Hit the like button, y'all. LOL. Thank you, Blue X. I appreciate you. Yes, and hit the like button. Thank you so much for being here and for the super chat. I appreciate you, bro. Hit the like button, y'all. Yeah, so yeah, I just think, once again, the idea of real love and really, and it's not perfect. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? People, it's like you got to be way over here or way over here. No. You love somebody and it don't mean that they're perfect. It don't mean that they don't make mistakes or stuff like that. Come on. It's like people are just being delusional on purpose, y'all. But no, I just, love means like you love your child or you love your parents unconditionally. You love your children unconditionally. They mess up. children go in the refrigerator and just pull. I mean, I don't understand. They'll knock some drink out of the refrigerator, waste food and all kinds of stuff, do crazy things that they shouldn't be doing. But do you look at them and say, I don't care about you no more? No, you love them unconditionally. You correct the behavior, but you still love them. But unconditional love is a lost art as well. People don't realize that or care about that until they're in a position to where they want somebody to love them unconditionally and be there for them. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Let's move on. I want to get into this whole Leslie Jones situation. I want to talk about Leslie Jones because she's back in the news, child. Leslie Jones is a hot mess in my opinion, but I want to play a little bit from first listen to this, but she's all over the place. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? And usually be the ones that look, and God forget, because listen, I think she's kind of funny in some of her stuff or whatever. And I've watched her grow over the years. And, you know, I have respect for her craft and her business and all of that kind of stuff. But when it comes to dating and all this and the message that she's putting out here, she's dead wrong for that, in my opinion. But it always be the ones that look kind of massively aggressive and manly and stuff that always have this kind of view because it didn't work out for you. So it didn't work out for you. So now you're trying to get other women to not go that route. And I just think that I don't think that you should be doing that. That's just my opinion. But it always the ones that look like that be having the issues.
Turned you straight.
What?
I thought this was funny though. I just want to.
What turned me straight?
Yes.
I was never not straight.
Girl, because let me tell you something. That was news to me, to be honest. I thought the lady was G-A-Y. I thought she was straight up because she's so manly, like even walk like a man to some degree. Like she's so big and stuff. And that don't mean you automatically gay because you big, but she just strike me as a manly. So automatically I thought she shot for the same team. Like I didn't know she was straight. I thought she was. So, but she's not. And she's never been apparently. Let's continue. This was funny, I think. What the hell?
Okay. What turned me straight? Chris Brown. You said what turned me straight, right? Wait a minute. Are you saying straight sexually?
Yes. As opposed to.
What turns me straight? I don't understand the question. I'm not straight.
Do bisexuals exist?
Yes, I'm sure they do.
Please tell them that they matter.
But what is this show?
Please.
Okay, bisexuals do matter. I'm not sure why I'm getting asked that, but okay. You want to fight?
I would never want to fight a black woman.
Okay. What's the next question?
I thought that little clip was funny because, baby, I could have swore, you know what I'm saying, up and down. I could have swore. I could have swore
up and down that she was G-A-Y, but she's not.
That's what she's saying anyway, child. I respect that. Whatever. But let's get into the next clip because I want to really give my take on this. But check this out, y'all. Hit the like button.
You bring it to the table. I am the table. Sick of men telling me, oh, well, you know, you hardcore. Yes, I am. Can you handle it? Oh, well,
Yeah.
what you bringing to the table? I am the table.
Do you have racial preferences when it comes to dating, or are you an equal opportunity barker?
Barker.
Yes, now I am.
But before, what was...
I think I had kind of turned a little blind eye to the black guys for a little while.
Wow.
Yeah. Because they were at the time, they were the group that I felt hated me the most, that I would get the most unlove from.
So you had
Who hurt you, Leslie Jones?
a penchant for light-skinned men.
Oh, I do
Light
like
skin.
me a light-skinned man.
Oh, still.
Still.
Got it. Like, and what's a celebrity that comes to mind? Like Boris Kodjoe, or
Boris is fine.
he's so hot.
He's very fine. Who's the other one, though?
Michael Ealy,
Oh, he's fine, too.
Jesse
He is-
Williams,
He's fine, too.
Barack Obama.
He's fine, too.
It sounds like you just like men.
Yeah. That's it. Especially powerful men.
You like a powerful man.
I do.
So a dominant to your submissive.
Hey, submissive.
I'm not submissive.
Could you be a trad wife is what I'm asking.
Trad wife meaning like I'd be at home and no.
Like making Oreos from scratch.
I don't absolutely not.
Why not?
Because that's not who the I am. And my daddy didn't raise me like that.
To be a
Now, hold on one second. See, she said this before. Her daddy raised her to be like that. There are a lot of fathers out there who raising their daughters to be exactly this way. And I think, I don't think they're intentionally raising them to be so manly, but I think they're just trying to help them to be self-sufficient. Like, hey, so that if you don't have a man, you can take care of yourself. I kind of get it. But oh my God, I don't know if they meant it to go way this way, you know, way that masculine. Like, come on, like you're so masculine till you almost move and act like a man. And then you wonder why masculine men aren't attracted to you and why you end up at an older age by yourself and then get mad at men why they don't understand where you're coming from. So this is how you set your children up for your daughters up for failure. Because if you want them to have a healthy relationship with a man, you gotta let them know. Like, you just can't say, oh, you don't need a man and just be like a man and then the men just supposed to just want you. No, where's the femininity? This is where the mothers, in my opinion, should teach your daughters how to be feminine. And that you know, this is what men look for. There's nothing wrong with that. But so many people have been on this male hate train of, oh, you don't need a man, so you don't need to worry about what a man wants. Who worried about a nigga? You know, that's how they talk. Like, well, you shouldn't be worried. It's almost offensive to say that you need a man these days. And offensive to say that, you know, you want a man for companionship and marriage and stuff. No, it's like you got to be these independent, ultra strong women. And then when you can't, but you still want to. Now, if you want to be ultra strong and you don't want a man and you ain't looking for one, okay, then it might work out. But these ultra strong women still want men. Oh my God. You still want men. That's the problem. Y'all didn't realize that this was going to be a problem for you because y'all was set up, period. Captain Caveman says, blind eye for the brothers. Look at God, child. Blind eye for the brothers. A mess. Thank you, Captain Caveman. I appreciate you. Latrell M, thank you for the super chat. Says, cover your eyes, listen to her voice, and ask yourself, is this a woman I would date? Hell to the no, right? She is super aggressive, and thank you, Latrell. I appreciate you. Right, you can cover your eyes. Yeah, it still would be like, damn, is that a man? Like, and she don't understand. She's still so what happens is they start hating men because men won't approach them and want to be with them because of it, you know. And you can't be super masculine and then also facially challenged. Like, the two don't go. You gotta have one or the other. Like, you can't be facially challenged, big, aggressive, manly, and all of that. Like, that's all around turn-offs. I could see if she was feminine and then, you know, facially challenged and all that, maybe somebody might be like, oh, she's such a sweet soul. But damn, you talk like that, you big up, you look like, I'm just saying. And I don't think she's the worst ever, no. It's just the attitude that comes with it makes it worse, in my opinion. I don't think that she's the worst looking woman. I just think her attitude and how she thinks about men, she knows it's causing it's giving her a disadvantage, but she's too far steeped into it now, so she don't know how to flip it around. She can't. Like she said, a trad wife, and I'm gonna play the rest, but child, it's just insanity to me. And I just think this is not a recipe, but she don't want to be any of that. But you still want a man, and all you can do is get somebody to give you a little side D, and that's it. They'll screw you. They don't care how big you are, how manly you are. Hell, you still got a vagina under that big body. So I'm just saying they don't care. Blue X, thank you for the super chat. Says, if black women can say Jay-Z and Flavor Flav are ugly, right, ugly, right. We can say that about Leslie Jones too. That's not hatred. She's a funny actress though. Right, I think she's a funny actress, but we see, you know, facially challenged. You know what I mean? And you got a point, Blue X. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, you're facially challenged and you big and you manly. That's a recipe for disaster when it comes to dating. I'm just saying. If you want to be successful, independent, by yourself, yeah, it wouldn't matter. But she want a man, and she wonder why the men don't want her. I'm just saying. So yeah, that's a recipe for disaster for dating. All I'll say. Let's continue. You could be successful as you want to be. It don't matter. And I think that's where they thought they could compensate at by having a successful career. It's going to make them more attractive to men. You know, and they realize that ain't the key. Y'all been set up, y'all been hoodwinked, y'all been lied to, child, and now y'all traumatized. Trust me. And it's just, yeah, you missed that mark. You know, maybe the younger women coming behind you will get it because you missed it. You missed it. That's it. Let's continue.
Trad wife.
To be anybody's wife. My dad used to literally say that to me. I didn't raise you to be somebody's wife.
That's so brave.
I don't know if it's brave or smart.
See, look, see.
Most of the people that I know that's gotten married are divorced now.
And so really that's an indictment of the institution.
Yeah. I think marriage is legalized slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking about slavery and I'm thinking about marriage, there are two different images that come
Absolutely
into my head.
not. I don't know how you don't. A man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, he might as well pull out a whip.
Now this is so reckless to say. Now she wrong for this shit. She wrong for this. I'm sorry. There's no. Why would you compare marriage to slave? Like that was so out of pocket in my opinion. And I just think she need to retract that and apologize. You can't. How you compare marriage to slavery? See this, and this is what these young people are running around here thinking that it's the truth. And a lot of them have. She's never been married. From my understanding, a lot of these young women who have never been married, never been in a relationship, some of them, they will eat this up because there's a narrative that's being pushed to make you think that being married to a man is so bad, when even the ones who married to women, they're worse, actually, in real life. But to be married to a man, it's like, oh my God, and she must don't know what trad wife means. Because that's just short for a traditional wife, right? A traditional wife who's in the way women used to be. So you have a man who goes out and makes the bread. He bring home the bacon and you cook it up. How is that like slavery? Because you want to be a traditional wife in the home, cooking and cleaning for your man while he go out and do his part and take care of the bills. How is that like, come on now, this is so out of, this is whack. It's whack. And it's just out of pocket. Like, this is crazy. But there are a lot of young people who will eat that up and believe that. But they still want a man. That's the thing. You would think that these types of women who think this way don't want a man at all. That you don't want a man at all. That you're just happy by yourself. But they be the very ones complaining about not getting a man and men not approaching them. Girl, if you think this way about marriage, why in the hell would any man with his right mind approach you? Oh my God. On top of all the other reasons. Why would any man in his right mind approach a woman who thinks this way about marriage? And men, you don't see men, you don't look at men in a high regard, but you want one. And then she attracted to some of the most attractive guys. You want light-skinned, attractive guys. You think they're going for you? Hell no. And that's been her gripe for years, probably. But come on, now this is crazy. As a married woman, there's no way I couldn't fathom what it was like to be a slave. Okay? Because that is something all of us, we have not experienced. So how could you even compare that to being married? And being married, there's no comparison. That's crazy to me. That is very reckless behavior, but nobody's going to call that out. Most people are going to agree with her. Oh, because men are just so this and they so that, but y'all keep looking. Why? If men are so, why y'all keep looking for one and why y'all keep sleeping with them? Jesus. Oh my God. A lot of women act like they're so in fear of their lives from men, but y'all keep sleeping with them. Y'all don't be afraid when they tapping them, knocking your boots. You don't be afraid then. I don't understand it. But it's just insane to me. But this is why a lot of them will stay single for the rest of their lives. Captain Caveman, thank you for the super chat. Says, we're living in a matrix, and this is proof. She's literally talking what should be coming out of the other woman's mouth. What's going on? Blame simps. Oh my God. Thank you, Captain Caveman. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. If a man stopped working as he left him, he's in debt to her and the rest of his life through alimony. Who the slave? Child, this is crazy. Thank you, Captain Caveman. I appreciate you, bro. I was reading Blue X's comment. Good point. Right. Oh, I get it, Captain Caveman. No problem. Yeah, it's just insanity, y'all. This is crazy. And then a lot of these women wondering why men are moving the way they're moving. I always go to that because it's the truth. These men are listening to this and they're like, you know what? Y'all are cooked. You're going to be cooked by yourself. We're not trying to take no chances with you. You heifers. Y'all are out here down bad. And I get it. The problem is hate what you can't have. That's all it is. That's all it is. I get it. I'm not dumb. I'm not oblivious either. It's hate what you can't have. It's a projection. Nobody wanted to marry you. Nobody wanted to take you seriously. So now, I don't think anybody should get married.
Oh, hold on, let me fix my voice. I don't think anybody, marriage is this, marriage is bad. Don't do it. Because nobody ever wanted to marry me. So I don't think marriage is good. Don't do it. That's it. Don't do it. It's the worst thing ever.
That's how they says, that's stupid. Let's continue.
In a chain.
Wow. So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them?
Don't
get married.
No.
Okay.
Oh God, you are crazy.
How am I crazy?
You are crazy.
You're saying that marriage is
No, I don't believe in the marriage. No, I don't.
So you wouldn't get married?
No, and I don't think it's beneficial for a woman at all.
Girl, speak for yourself. Oh, oops, you can't. Because guess what? Hold on.
She can't speak for herself because she ain't never been married, so she don't know what it's like. So I've been married. I love my husband. I love my marriage. But don't do it. I don't think, if you don't think it's good for you, then you ain't gonna get married, because guess what? Ain't nobody tried to marry you. So I'm gonna tell all the young women, don't do it. Don't get married. I don't think it's beneficial for you. Because I ain't never had a nigga in his life that ever want to propose to me or think I was beautiful and want to marry me, so I ain't suggesting you do it. That's what she should say.
That's what you should do. That's what you should tell people. I ain't never had a dude to take me seriously and want to ever marry me. So you think I'm gonna promote marriage? Just say that shit, because that's what it is. Captain K-Man saying I'm so confused I can't use the appropriate words. It's all right.
Oh my God.
I know what you were trying to say. Thank you, Captain K-Man. Yeah, that's it. Just be mad. Be mad as hell. You mad. No man ever wanted to marry you. No man ever thought you was beautiful. No man ever, wanted to commit to you, probably. So now you just want to tell everybody, don't do it. Hold on.
Don't do it. That's how she said, don't do it. I don't think it's cool. I don't think nobody should ever do this like slavery. Child.
Hate what you can't have. That's it. Ain't no, because she knows at this point it ain't gonna never happen. See, it's like you're in denial, but the truth is kicking in at the same time. It's like you realize, I ain't gonna never have a man to take me seriously or think I'm beautiful enough or feminine enough or cute enough to want to marry me. So you know what? F it. I'm gonna just tell everybody don't do it. I can't have it. You can't have it either. That's all that's about. Now, I mean, that's so dumb and reckless to say. Like, come on. There are a lot of successful, healthy, happy marriages out here. But to say, it's like slavery and you shouldn't do it. Like, come on. No, don't tell that to these young people. Just say you haven't had the opportunity. Nobody looked at you in a way to want to marry you. That's all. And you can't, and you probably won't at this point because they just don't want you. That's it. That's the honest truth. Instead of lying and projecting this hatred onto other people. No. And I don't think every young person is that dumb or naive. I think there are a lot of young people out here who understand better. But this is crazy. That's why I say the older women are trying to mess it up for the younger ones because they didn't get what they wanted. So now they want you to be miserable. Crazy. And yeah, I know people who've been divorced and their marriages didn't work, but I know others whose marriages have worked. Like, it's not all one in one box. You'll get your ass up here and tell everybody, hey, you don't think you should know. Just say you ain't never had it. You was given the wrong information and now you just bitter and you can't get that. So you just going to try to ruin it for everybody and just continue to be manly and masculine. Cause at this point, ain't nobody but you. I bet you're still screwing somebody. Allegedly. I bet you're still screwing some little man. I bet you. You want them to rub you down and make you feel good at some point. But y'all talk, a lot of women talk like men are just so bad, but y'all always sneaking and geeking and getting one to make you feel good when you're ready. And just because you don't know how to be in relationships and you don't know how to maintain a relationship, you want to put it out there that they all bad, knowing you go and get you some side piece to make you feel good temporarily. Because other than that, you're a loose cannon, you throw it off, you're confused. and you need a little D in your life, and you go get little Pookie Ray, somebody who don't mind risking it, because he don't want you either. He's just like, okay, that might be some good coochie. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm oh yeah, she big, and man, I never want to be with her, but yeah, but you know what? Ain't too many people messing with us, so that coochie's on point. Let me go and get some. They'll break you off, and then they leave. And you probably rubbing on his head and all this kind of stuff, feeling good. Then a mother is good, feeling good all the whole time. Talking about you don't want no man and you don't need it, and they this and they that, but you be getting get your rocks off with one anytime you feel like it. Probably, who knows, child? They be doing all kinds of stuff in Hollywood, but I'm just saying, telling people all this other stuff, but knowing you be needing that affection and that love, even if it's for a short time. You know, probably be trying to talk feminine. I'm just saying, instead of, ooh, move my leg over here. Probably be like, ooh, trying to talk soft. Probably be trying to, like, you know, okay, you move my leg. It's still kind of heavy, but can you move my leg over here? Then move my leg. I bet you didn't say, I am the table. You probably like, I'm not the table. Trying to, you know, thinking maybe one of these little one of these little side niggas will take you seriously. So you might, ooh, let me try. Ooh, move my leg. Move, trying to, you know what I mean? Going in between voices and shit, trying to sound a little feminine. Maybe if I do that, maybe he'll want to see me more or see me out in public. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Look, child, it's just what it is. I'm just saying. You hate what you can't have. If you can't have it, you're going to make it seem like it's the worst thing ever. That's all. You realize, oh shit, might not ever get that. Oh well, I'm not going to promote it. You know, that's how that goes. But anyway, this was a hot mess. You know, that I am the table and all that. This is bullshit. And then a lot of these women know it. You know, but when you can't get it, you got to make it seem like it's the worst thing ever. Oh, and all these women in these marriages are just like slaves, and they just so miserable and all that. No, you can't speak. Once again, you haven't had that experience, so you can't really speak on it. You've never been married, so you don't know. Now, if you've been married and you've been in a tumultuous relationship, okay, that's your experience. That's not everybody's experiences, but also a lot of these women, you know, don't speak on the full relationship. They only speak from their perspective. They don't talk about the stuff they do. They don't talk about the stuff that the man do. And being married a long time, marriage has its ebbs and flows, ups and downs. Trust me. It ain't always peaches and cream. You don't always agree. There are moments where it gets a little crazy, where you like, hell, you know, marriage, if you've been married as long as I have, you go through some stuff, you know, and so, but you work through them. I listened to Jocelyn Tola before her husband passed away, where may he rest in peace. But they you know, she talked about how they almost thought they was getting a divorce and they had to go through therapy and counseling and stuff like that. It gets crazy. But a lot of these people don't want to go through anything. They just think a marriage is supposed to be perfect. That means the man perfect in a way to where the man just does everything that you say. You just do stupid stuff, can act crazy, go through your feelings and your emotions, ups and downs, all of that. And he's just supposed to sit down on the side and just take all of that and just be like, yeah, happy wife, happy life. Whatever she do, I'm just going to stick beside her. Not saying you run off from your wife, but what I'm saying is a lot of women are asking for things that they are not even willing to give. And this is why I say it's one-sided. And this is why the majority of women are the ones who leave the marriages, because they feel like if it doesn't serve them, they just got to leave. As opposed to looking at it, you know, both ways. Like, hey, I want him to do something for me, but I should do something for him too. I can't just always sit back and just expect him to just acquiesce to everything that I say. And that means he's perfect. And I'm not supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Compromise for him. That's why you hear women, they believe this. Oh, well, if it doesn't serve me, I'm out. Well, that's a selfish mentality. And what man is going to deal with you knowing you think like that? You know what I mean? What man is going to want to be with you if you think that way? He knows that's going to be an issue. And he knows, look, he's not perfect. He can do the best he can, but he's not a damn robot and he's not perfect, but you aren't either. Manny E, thank you for being a member. Shout out to you. Says, why is she so pro non-marriage? Seems wild to me. Make it make sense because she's never had it.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Manny. She's never been in a marriage. Nobody's probably never wanted to marry her. Manny also says, Leslie can't be saved. No hope. Right. Just like a lot of women who have gotten to that point. They're stuck in their ways. That's just how they are. And they're hoping and praying that they could find a man that will be accepting of who they are and just don't care. But to me, that would be a man who's just see that who's looking to take advantage. Thank you, Manny E, for the super chat. I appreciate you. To me, that's where you find men who want to come in and just use you for what they can. She has money. She's successful. So yeah, he'll come in and get her to buy him things and all that to play like he like her and be there and, pretend like he's supportive. This is where you find those men who would be willing to take advantage. They don't really want to, but they see an opportunists, and that's what I think a lot of these women run into. Captain Caveman says, Leslie got a mean left hook and a tough chin, child.
Oh
I don't think nobody's surprised, Captain Caveman. Shit, I wouldn't fight her. Baby, you got to hit her with a 2x4. I'm just saying, she's big. Shit, you can't fight no fair fight with somebody like that. I would be scared as hell. Child, I got to get something. No. That's a big woman. And that's funny because I like her comedy. And I just think, she might be a cool person to hang around with. But just when it comes to relationships and stuff, that's where she's cooked. Thank you, Captain Caveman. I appreciate you. Yeah, but I just think women look at relationships in a one-sided way. They look at them, only for their benefit. And then this is why I find it strange when women say only the men benefit from marriages because you got your in-house cook, cleaner, what they say, in-house sex slave is what they try to say. Like, y'all, but y'all go around and you sleep with Tom, Dick, and Harry, Pookie, Ronnie, Bobby, Mickey, Ricky, Mike. You go out here and sleep with everybody. They don't have to do a goddamn thing for you. But you do it on your terms, so it makes you feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? You do it on your own terms, so you feel good about it, just going around being promiscuous. And let them run through you however much they want and however much you want. And it's okay because you say, it's what I wanted to do. So I'm happy about it. Like, it don't make it right or good for you. And then when you meet a man, you want this man to be Jesus.
Oh my God.
He got to be Jesus, perfect in every way. After you've done all that you want to do in your imperfect way, and now you still got issues now, and you want the man to be Jesus. I don't get it. Captain Caveman, thank you once again for the super chat. Shout out to you. Make sure you guys are supporting via super chat or Cash App, you guys. It definitely helps the channel to grow. All I ask, if you give at least $5 to support the channel, if you can, or more, I really appreciate you guys for that. It definitely helps to grow the channel, y'all, and build it up. So make sure you are supporting in that way and hit the like button, y'all. Captain Caveman says, whoever put a ring on that finger better have insurance.
Oh my God.
She's gonna scratch that ring up from her knuckles dragging on the ground while walking, baby.
Oh my God.
I don't think Captain Caveman, honestly, I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, and if it does, child, yeah, I agree. You better have insurance. And I bet you'll be a little short man. She here and the man gonna be here. Because them are the ones who gonna be, and he probably don't have all that money and stuff, and he gonna be like, I climb that tall tree. He be willing to do it and deal with her aggressiveness because he don't got nothing else to do. I'm just saying. Child. Thank you, Captain Caveman. I appreciate you. She knocked out Harvey from the Honeymooners. Oh my gosh. They sleep with men and women these days and still be coming home to their husbands. Child.
Oh my God.
That's a mess, baby. It's a hot mess out in these streets, I will say. But once again, I stand by the fact that a lot of these modern women are delusional as can be, and they running around here thinking that they're going to get what they want with this delusional mentality, and they're finding it hard to do it. So something ain't right. Something is off with this whole mentality, and they hate to acknowledge it. You hate to acknowledge that you're not getting what you want. and that there's a problem in your logic or lack thereof, because it's a bunch of feelings. It's not really logic. It's a bunch of feelings and wishing and dreaming and manifesting and fairy tales and reality TV. All of the expectations that they have for men is just through the roof. They think that having their degrees and all that made them suitable for high value men, and they realize that was not a win. Which takes me into the next clip of Ari Lennox, which we're gonna get back into her, because this shows and proves that this is how a lot of women think. It's just some of these women are telling it, so you could hear them say it, but a lot of the rest of them are in denial. But this is what they thought. We know it. We see it. It doesn't take much brain power to see how these women are thinking and how they're moving. Get all these degrees. They thought that qualified them for the top tier man. But because they never knew what men really wanted, and they never asked. They listened to their mothers, single mothers, and some of them their daddies tell them, you don't need a man, go take care of yourself. And they did that. And now on the flip side, you want a man, and now you can't get one, child. But let's move on. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Let's get into the next one. Here we go.
Talk about it, because I feel like it's so many times where us as women will feel something in our spirit that is telling us, like, this person isn't right for me. This isn't the person that I'm supposed to be with. And then people from the outside looking in, they'll look at the situation, not knowing the person as well as you do, only on the surface level, and be like, why would she leave that good man? That was a good man, Savannah. Why would you leave him?
You don't know this man.
Exactly.
But what I was saying, though, is that I feel like people are being duped when they are being fed a certain narrative. It's like you aren't even exercising critical thinking. Like, how about like the full picture of something instead of just a clip? Like, you don't know me. You don't know what I smell like, what I'm thinking about this person, how on the first date, this is the same person who jokingly said, I'm gonna kill you. Like, there's a lot.
But see, I think the problem is, what's going on, Manversations 2020? How are you? I think the problem is, it's too much social media. It's too much of people listening and following the wrong people. It's too much of you worried about what somebody else is thinking, as opposed to you using your common sense and paying attention to the person that you're dating. So if you go on a first date with somebody, the world don't have to know about that. Why would social media be on the first date? They shouldn't even know who you're dating or courting or whatever. So if you go on a date with a guy, you're supposed to pay attention to what the guy is saying, listen to what he's looking for, look at his actions and all of these things when you're dating somebody. So that if his actions and his mentality is what you're looking for, and y'all are on the same page, you pursue that. If for some reason it doesn't work out, then you move on. But everybody shouldn't be privy to that. Everybody shouldn't know who you're dating from day one to however many dates you go on. That's the problem right there. You're allowing too many people to enter into your business. And so then they start implanting certain, information or things into you that is not really the truth, and start making you question what's going on. You're questioning things based off what they're telling you versus what you actually see. So this is why you don't allow a bunch of people into your business, because they can deter your mind, or deter you from certain things based off of their feelings. They don't know what you're saying with the person. These people just make assumptions based off of short little clips. Oh, I can tell he probably don't really like her. They say that about every man. If you get in an argument with your man and you post it, they're going, he don't really like her. And they assume, he don't really like you, so you need to leave him ASAP. They don't really know the full picture. And I think people do that on purpose to get that reaction. But then when it backfires and it causes a rift in your relationship, now you're lost and confused. But I just think, no, you shouldn't have a bunch of people in your business like that, because it's not helpful. It's not beneficial. And so I just think, once again, I think people are just moving in a way that is not conducive for healthy, stable relationships, period. And then they wonder why they can't find somebody, because y'all going into it with the wrong mindset, wrong intentions. And then you allow the public in and skew your view of things and start making you think, oh, well, maybe they're right. And maybe I shouldn't do this. If he don't buy me $1 million ring, he's got to go. You know what I'm saying? Because society and people on social media told you, girl, he should get you a more expensive ring. Why he's doing the bare minimum. Oh my God, you should leave. Because once again, it's a single people who don't have somebody in their corner. They don't have a man. They don't have a husband. And then they want you to be like them. Once again, hate what you can't have. So yeah, it's just one of those things where you shouldn't be listening to people who are not in relationships and don't understand the dynamics of yours. You shouldn't even be having them in your business, period. Let's continue.
There's a lot, and I'm realizing, and I know this sounds naive, but I'm realizing, believe people when they say things like that, you know? So.
And I also feel like, they're going to be mad at me saying this, but I also feel like that American dream has been sold to us, and women are just now figuring out that maybe that's not for me. Oh, go to college, you marry somebody, the white picket fence, and marriage happily ever after. When you're a successful woman and you've accomplished so much on your own, a lot of times they don't have much to add to you. So unless you are making me happy, I feel safe around you. I feel good. Right. I don't care on paper how good you look, because my life looks good without you. If I feel better without you, even if you are a good man, I'm okay without you. And we have figured that out. We figured out how to make money. We figured out how to purchase homes. We figured out how to have these bomb-ass careers. And it's like, okay, we're good. And they are hating that. So instead of them being happy for us and cheering for us that we have figured this out, they're like, oh, but you're 30-something. You've never been married. You ain't got no kids. Baby, you can never make me feel bad about my life.
They hate that we okay with being.
Yeah, I don't think men hate that women are. I think that's what they're telling themselves. I think women are telling themselves that. I don't think men hate the fact that you're happy single. A lot of people, even me, I know that is not the truth, though. I know that there are a lot of women who are miserable, and you have your careers. You're successful financially, but you're still not happy. See, and I think that's they purposely get it mixed up. That, and I'm not saying that every woman out here who's successful isn't happy. No, that's not. There are some that are, but what I'm saying is they're trying to make it seem like every successful woman is happy with her life and she doesn't want anything else but that success, and that is just simply not true. They want to make it seem like every successful woman who's getting to the bag and she's financially successful, that's the only thing that matters in her life. And that is so far from the truth. And I think they know it. Of course, you want to just spin this narrative and push that out there to make it seem that way. There are so many women who have been accomplished, successful. This is why we see successful women out here talking about it's hard to find a man that they want. If they were completely happy and had no other issues and didn't want a man, didn't want a family, you wouldn't see a lot of these successful women getting, donors and IVF and all this and having babies with sperm donors. If you really didn't want to, if you were just worried about your careers and so successful, why do you have these successful women going out here who don't have kids, go and get kids by, insemination? What is it? Getting sperm donors and all this artificial insemination. Why are they doing that if they were so completely happy and content with their success and they didn't need anything else? Why are they still out here looking for men? Because even the most successful women still would love to be married. One day they would love to have a kid with the right man, is what they say. So if you're so content and that's not an issue, why are y'all still out here looking for men? Why y'all secretly still looking for a man? It doesn't add up, but I know why, and I get it. And I know it's all a lie, a joke in the game, that you want to portray something that you know is not true. You don't, just because you have a career don't mean you don't want love. Just because you're successful financially doesn't mean you don't want companionship, but y'all have been sold a lie that you need to have it a certain way. If you make so much money and you're so financially successful and you don't need a man for money, but y'all still run around here getting the men for the D, so that still means you need a man. You still want companionship. You still want to be held. You still want a man to hug you. You still want to feel intimacy. You still want that from a man. Most women do. So why not find a man that gives you that and actually cares about you? And he's successful, but he may not have the money that you make because women have been incentivized and empowered to go out and make more money. Just so you could think you don't need a man, but y'all still end up finding a man somewhere. Whether you paying for one, whether you getting a little pookie on the side, you still want intimacy from a man. Y'all still be looking for a man. But you hate to accept the fact that, hey, he may not make as much money as you. You think he should be a rich man because y'all thought getting into these degrees and these careers is going to get me the rich man, when y'all realize rich men don't even care about your money and your finances. They want you. But when women do it, when women are successful, they don't want the man for just love and companionship. They want all of it. They want you to bring the good loving, the 6 feet tall, all 6 figures or more, and they still want you to, they want it all. They want it all. They made the money, but they don't want to share it. That's the difference. When men make money, it's to provide for a potential family, potentially. But when women make money, that's not the goal. You still want a man to be traditional. You still want a man who makes more than you so you can pay for everything. And you still want to be courted. You still want to feel like the woman, like the docile, feminine woman who's not able to provide the same thing y'all fought against. You don't want to be considered docile. You don't want to be considered, a feminine woman who's just, who loves baking cookies. You don't want that. You want to be a masculine woman when it's important to you to make all the money like a man. But then you want to be treated by a man who makes more than you, who still brings the money and treat you like you're incapable of doing it, even though you are. It's like y'all are delusional. Oh my God. Delusional. They want the best of both worlds. And that's just not and that's why they're not getting it. You're not getting it. You fought to be independent. You making money. Good. I don't have a problem with that. There are a lot of successful women out here, but when it comes to Black women, unfortunately, a lot of Black women are the ones who want their cake, ice cream, cookies, and they want it all. They want to be masculine, strong, independent women, but you still want a man to come into your life and marry you, provide for you totally while you can do it for yourself. What was the whole point of being and proving that you can do it for yourself if you don't want to do it? And you'll do it for yourself, but you don't want to do it in a relationship. That's crazy. And even in a relationship, you're not doing it all. You're just sharing in the load. They don't want to share in the load. They still want you to be 100% traditional while they can be independent, masculine, and they want to feel like you're the man and she's the woman and she's, they want to feel like that on one hand by you pulling out your check and paying for your card and paying for everything. But when they get outside of you, I'm an independent, strong, I don't really need them. I got it. It's like y'all can't have it both ways. Y'all can't have it both ways. And that's the struggle that they're dealing with. Successful MD, thank you for the super chat. Says, happy Friday, DeeDee, and salute to the chat. I see you have the stove on high to have fried hyena on Seafood Friday. Baby, no, you didn't. Keep cooking the Bonnet Brigade. Thank you. That was interesting. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, Successful MD. Thank you. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, this is the dilemma that they're facing, y'all. Right now, this is the dilemma that they're facing. They want a traditional feel. They want the man to, open the car door, give them flowers, get to the event, nice place. They want it all laid out. They want you to then have a Chanel necklace or something on the table, a nice gesture with gifts waiting for them. They want you to roll the red carpet out for them. And there's nothing wrong with that. They want the princess treatment, right? But they're not a princess. They're independent boss chicks. Oh my God. Who don't need a man. And they don't understand how that directly correlates to the experiences that they get when it comes to men or the lack thereof. They don't think that it should be that way. They just keep saying men need to be men. Men need to be a man because you're the man, but they don't want to be the feminine women that the men are looking for, the traditional women that most men would want. I don't think there's not a man in this world who wouldn't want to come home. And I'm not saying you may not care about it on a daily basis, but I think most men would not be mad. And y'all let me know if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Let me know. But let me know in the chat. Seriously. I don't think most men would be mad if they came home to a beautiful feminine woman who was in the kitchen. You come home and you open that door and you smell some good cooking. You be like, damn, what we smell good? Clean house. Food cooking, something that you like, that she knows you like, and she's in there cooking, and she look amazing. She ain't looking tired and wore out like they like to make wives look to be like she's just so drained and wore out, dragging her feet cooking. No, she looks amazing. She got on a cute dress. She looked good. She's fit. She's attractive. You love her. She love you. I don't think a man in this world would be mad at coming home to a beautiful woman who's making your favorite meal in a clean house. You know what I mean? Happy to see you home. Give you a kiss on the cheek or a kiss and a hug. Like, hey, babe, how's your day? And she look happy and chipper. And she look, I'm making your favorite meal. You come open that door, you smell nothing but good. Who would be mad at that? What man would be mad at that? I don't think any man would be mad at that. A woman just happy to be there and happy to be with you and making you and doing things for you just as much as you do stuff for her. I don't think too many men would be mad at that. But these women try to make it seem like, oh my God, you slaving in the kitchen all day and it's just so this and that. And you want to do something more with your life and you want to go out and be these bullshit and then get on the jobs. And guess what's happening there? They're complaining about that. Oh my God. They complaining about that. They complain about going to work. I'm just so tired. I ain't complaining. Now y'all losing jobs. Now you like, how we going to pay all these goddamn bills we done created? How are we gonna be these boss chicks and pay all these bills? Now you first you complain about going to work. You don't want to work. Then when you lose a job, you complain about what I'm gonna do. And a lot of y'all are by yourselves doing it. So it's you can never ever win with a lot of these women. OG Hot Rod, thank you. Says Lord have mercy. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, OG Hot Rod. Thank you so much for being here. But yeah, it's like, come on, like they got it twisted, and then and they realize what men want, but they hate to give it to them because they've been indoctrinated into this way of living, and now there's nothing you can't get out of it now. Let's continue.
Single.
Oh, they hate it.
Yeah. And then there are people who have been married and maybe it didn't work out or God forbid might have lost their spouse and things and they wind up single parents. And so I just kind of feel like it's so much disrespect around single people, single parents. And I feel like it's just weird.
It's very weird.
Yeah. People are single for different reasons and it's best that we are healthy and why we're single.
And then you said, like, especially your mental health. A lot of times they be like, oh, you with this good man. Y'all don't know what goes on behind two closed doors between two people.
Well, I mean, of course, and you shouldn't. That's not your business. But we can't always assume that all of the men are just bad and the women are all good. That's the part they don't acknowledge either. You can't assume because it's always the assumption that, oh, girl, Savannah, you got a good man. You got a good man, Savannah. And then you like, the assumption or the insinuation is that, oh, most of these men are probably just hellions. They're so bad. But what we don't assume or insinuate is that a lot of these women are hellions and they're not the best. Because the assumption is always that the woman is walking out with a man that's just a hellion behind closed doors and she's the perfect princess. When a lot of times, like we see in these cases with these women, you just have to do a videotape and show the women abusing the men. And these women are talking to these men like they're trash. That a lot of these women aren't these great women that they portray themselves to be. But, we can't fathom that idea that, hey, there might be some men that are bad in the relationships, but there are also some women who are horrible too and controlling and manipulative and all of the things that y'all claim all men to be. See, my thing is this. I don't disagree that there may be some manipulative, controlling men, but I also acknowledge that there are some manipulative, controlling women. But as much as women like to say, oh yeah, well that probably exists, but y'all don't focus on that. Every situation is based on the man being the most horrible one. And then when it's proven that the women are toxic and bad, y'all, it's like y'all stuck on stupid. It's like now at this point, you don't even want to acknowledge the truth when it's in front of you. You don't even want to see that's a problem. You don't even want to acknowledge it when it's blatantly in front of you. Because it goes against your narrative that all men are just this way. All men are narcissists. All men are abusers. When you have women who are narcissists and abusers as well, but that goes against the narrative. You can't paint every man in that way when there are women who are actually like that as well. See, and that's the propaganda that they're pushing, and that's what's the one-sidedness of it all. And that's why I don't think that that's fair. And you don't want to, if you're going to acknowledge one side, acknowledge the other, and don't put every person. I'm not going to say all women are narcissists and they're all bad, because I know that all of them are not. But they really like to make it seem like all men are that way, and that is always the focus. And you don't know, just like she said, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't. So stop portraying it or making an assumption that the man is the most horrible. Why can't we say, girl, you don't know what's going on behind closed doors. That man could be crazy, girl. Or she could be crazy too. That woman could be a batshit nuts and crazy. But so we don't know. So let's not judge. No, the assumption is always that the man is horrible. And that when two people walk out, you know, and their life seems perfect, that the man is the one probably knocking her head between the wash and dry, not the woman. But you got to assume that it could be either way. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Be realistic, be fair. And a lot of times they don't want to be fair and they're not fair. Everything, and they're partial to women, and you want to just make it seem like all the men are bad. And that's just not the case. Just like they want to make it seem like all relationships are terrible and all marriages are horrible. And no, it's not. Y'all just want to assume that because you hate, a lot of them just hate men if you really want to be honest about it. That's all I'm saying. Captain K Man, thank you for the super chat once again, sis. I got 40 for them, but D, I ain't gonna see you until next Friday though. LOL. Super chat fund decisions. No, you're not. Stop it. Now you go with that $40. Come on now. Stop it. Stop. That's crazy. Thank you, Captain K Man. I appreciate you. Fire Mission. Thank you so much for the generous super sticker. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through with a $50 super sticker. I appreciate you once again for being here and for supporting the channel. Thank you. Let's continue, y'all.
We talk about it.
You just never know. And that's why I say, but I feel like they only do that to women. Like if women are in their 40s and single or they haven't had kids, they're like, oh, what's wrong with you? But when a man is 40, they're like, oh, he got money. Oh, I know he's a hot commodity out here. And it's just like, why is that? Yeah. It's so weird because a lot of men...
Because with men, with them getting older, they look at it like, oh, you're in your prime as a man when you get to your 40s. When you start getting the salt and pepper and you start aging, you ain't in the prime of your life. And realistically, too, like most men don't become extremely successful until I think they're about 40.
Yeah.
So
I really think it's the 50s.
It's like 40, the 40s and 50s. Yeah. So it's like for them, as they get older, it's looked at as, oh, you in your prime. With us as women, the older we get, we damage good.
Yeah.
Could never be.
Exactly.
Could
never be.
Well, I mean, it's not just, it's looked at that way, That is what it is. I mean, women, when you're in your 20s, if I'm not mistaken, that's when you're in your prime. It's a biological thing. It's not just, oh, that's what they're saying. It's the truth. And anybody who's looking at that, you know, and I wouldn't say that you're damaged goods as you get older. I wouldn't say that. I personally wouldn't think as a human being, as a woman that's older. No, I wouldn't say anybody is considered damaged goods. I just think that when it comes to dating, if you're still 40, 50 years old and you're single as a woman, it's going to be more difficult for you to find a man to want to commit to you and marry you, because most men want to marry, want to have a family. They want to have a family. So they're not only looking at you for just to be with, they want to build a family. They want to create a family. And usually by the time you're 40s and older, it becomes more difficult to do that. That's why women have a biological clock. That is part of the reason why you're in your prime in your 20s, because those are the optimal years to start a family. And I think people are just looking at the superficial way. They're not looking at it for what it really is. It's not a made up thing. It's an actual biological way of life. Women are in their prime because of that is their best childbearing years. You can more than likely, the younger you are, the more successful you are at having children without any complications. And you can have if you want multiple children, you can have those children back to back to back to back and be fine. It doesn't take a toll on your body as much. You can bounce back quicker because we're designed to do that. But they're looking at it from a different perspective. They're not looking at the biological aspect of it. And I think that's where they go wrong. And so men are in their prime as they get older because it takes a while for men to establish themselves financially. You just don't jump out at 20 years old for the most part and become super successful. It takes time. And so I just think that they don't want to acknowledge it. And they just think, if a man is 45 and he's successful, but he hasn't had any kids because he worked on his career and he wants to have kids, he could probably still produce a child, but can you? A lot of women have difficulties, and not saying that just because you hit 40, boom, you can't have kids. It don't work like that. Just because you're 45, boom, you just all of a sudden you can't have kids. But the likelihood of it goes down, like it dwindles. Because the closer you start to get into menopause and things of that perimenopause, menopause, it becomes a little bit more difficult a lot of times for some women to have. It's not the most optimal time. Can women have children at those ages? Yes. But is it something that you want to do? Probably not. And can you have multiple children? It may be a little bit more difficult. This is why your prime is in your 20s, because your childbearing years, that's the best time to create those children. So this is why men look for younger women, because a lot of these men, if they say 54% of black men are childless, they don't have any kids, so they might want a family. A man could still create a child at that age, but more women have difficulties doing that. A lot of times they need sperm donors, or they can't care. They have issues. So that is why it's not just something they're saying. There's a biological aspect to it. So that's behind it. Latrell, thank you for the super chat once again. Says judge women by their actions, not by their words. If you're not concerned about men, why do you keep bringing them up? Latrell. Oh my God. That's the question I keep asking over and over and over, because they care. They do, but they stuck in a rock in a hard place. It's like they're telling you, girl, don't need a man, decenter yourself from men. And they're saying, girl, I'm horny. I still want a man. And I would love a man, but ain't none of them taking me seriously, because I got to stand on this Bonnet Crew Society member high ground of, we don't really need you, we want you. Like, come on. And then men are hearing that saying, well, we don't want you. If you don't need me, I don't want you. So they kind of having a problem, you know? Thank you, Latrell. I appreciate you once again. Calvin Cook says Janet Jackson had a baby at the yeah, she had one child. She had my youngest is 8. So I had to be like I was 40s. I was early 40s when I had him. So I mean, it's not impossible, but it's not likely. And the thing is, you think she had one. She's not, if she had a husband, if she wanted to have 4 or 5 kids, it was going to be difficult for her to do. Because your body is changing. I'm pretty sure she's past menopause at this point. So ain't no babies coming out of there. That, you know what I'm saying? You closer to the point to where you can't have them than you are to where you will be most likely able to have more than one. Usually women who wait till late like that and they're able to get a child, they usually have one. Because they was able to squeeze that one out, and then that's it. And now you're headed to menopause. There ain't no more children after that. We do have a biological clock. You don't want to wait till you 40, 50 years old to have, and then you only might get one, versus when you're in your 20s, you can have them back to back because it's a different, your body is at the point where it's prepared for that. You know what I mean? Let me see some. Wouldn't a child have a disability if the sperm is 40 to 50 years old? That's no, that I don't know. Wouldn't a child have a disability if the sperm is 40 to 50 years old? That's not like set in stone. It could happen, but that's not something that just happens. No, we can't determine that just based off of age. No, there are men older who have children with younger women, and those kids are fine. Hell, it's no guarantee one way or the other. You could have a child younger and your child still have a disability. That is not something that we could quantify or really, we can't, that's not a guarantee nor either way. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to say there's not a guarantee one way or the other. There are people who have children with disabilities when they're both young. That we can't determine that. You know what I mean? Now there might be some statistics that say that it might be more of a possibility, but it's not a guarantee that just if you have older sperm, whatever, that your child just gonna come out. No, there are a lot of people who have children older and the children don't have disabilities whatsoever. Let's continue.
But that's what they be trying to tell us. That's the propaganda.
Yeah, it really is. It's truly propaganda, because I feel like if we're not happy in a relationship, they make you feel like, oh, you're being ungrateful. You're being ungrateful. But if a man leaves a situation, a man can have a woman who's good on paper, right? She's successful, she's beautiful, and they're like, oh, she got too many college degrees. I know why he left that bitch. She's probably a know-it-all.
Yeah. I thought it was everything to have a house, to have just be taking care of myself and all of these things, all of these ambitious goals of mine that I've been able to achieve. I thought that would be attractive. And in meeting men and dating a lot of successful men, none of them would ever talk about how exciting it is that I've invested in properties or would ever even want to come to see my house or at all. It was very much so, no, just come over here or you know, it felt like all my accomplishments were minimized.
Wow.
And so I realized, I don't know what I was thinking growing up, thinking that like me being accomplished and independent would attract other successful men. Or successful men, and just realizing, wow, I think it deters them.
It does. It does.
Yeah, because that's for you. They understand that you've accomplished something for yourself. That's for you. And then most women use their accomplishments as a grandstand to try to belittle a man. And if a man is much more accomplished than you, usually men are taught that you need to be accomplished. You need to have something, especially if you want to take on a family. That's what men are taught, that you need to provide for a family one day. So you need to make sure you work hard and build yourself up so that you can provide for somebody else. Women are successful for themselves. And maybe if they have kids, of course you got to take care of your kids, but they don't incorporate a man into their success. They're successful. They're taught to be independent of men and take care of yourself. So when you get your own house, when you get your own this and your things, that's your accomplishment. You're going to hold tight to that. And you don't want to let it go, which I don't think you should. But what I'm saying is, as a man who was taught early on that he needs to provide for a potential family, that does not benefit him, because you don't, and the money you make don't benefit the relationship because you don't want to share it. And because you worked hard for yourself, you're selfish. So women making money, they are selfish. Men making money have to think about an entire family, because that's what they were taught. You got to be the provider for your family. Women aren't taught to provide anything for a man. They're taught to provide for themselves. So that's where there's a discrepancy, because if you are successful, but you understand, you know what, I want a relationship. I had to take care of myself. I couldn't just stand out here and be homeless. So I had to take care of myself, and I just happened to do a good job at it. But I do want a husband one day, and I want a man, and I know that I need to work with a man. And that way, when you coming into it, even if he's able to take care of everything, but you're coming in with a loving, compromising mentality, not this selfish, entitled, independent mindset, but like, you know what? Hey, I got money. He got money. Let's put it together. Let's build on it. I love him. He loved me. Let's do it. That will get you somewhere. But you're coming into it with this independent mindset. What I got is my shit, and I'm not doing. I be goddamn if you gonna do that. When a man is coming in saying, "Oh, he wants to share his," because that's what he was raised to do and taught to do. So what's wrong with you? You don't want to. Okay, you got a house. Okay, if this man loves you, he want to be with you. What's wrong with you? You sell your house. What's wrong with you selling that house and saying, "Okay, I'm gonna sell this. We gonna this add to the funds. I got money. We got money. Come on, I'm gonna live with my man." But see, because if you don't, the funny thing about it, when you broke as the woman and you don't have a house, you'll be ready to go live with that man. How many you really go live in his mansion if he got one, right? You don't care because you don't have shit to offer. So when you broke, it's all good. But when you got something of your own, you don't want to do compromise. Ain't nobody saying you got to give all your money away or whatever. But if the man is saying, "Hey, I built this house, I built this with a family in mind, with a wife in mind," you don't want to go live with him. You think he's trying to take everything from you. No, you still make money, right? You still make money. And what's wrong with contributing? And what's wrong with going and live with your man? You want to be married. He want to marry you. He's taking you into his environment that he's established for a wife and kids. But the women push back because they've let society mess them up here and tell them, "Oh, he's trying to minimize you. He don't want to see your own." No, he's trying to manipulate and want to control. And he don't want you to have you still have your money. You still have your stuff. You just coming into a relation. That's what a relationship is. You coming together. They don't want to do that. This independent bullshit has messed a lot of these women up. A man that loves you is not trying to take from you. He wants you to have what you have, but come on, he wants the environment he created, not the environment you created for just you. He's thinking of a family. He's always been thinking of that. If this was something that he's wanted. So he's thinking of a family. I want my family to live here. I want my family to live this type of way. Y'all can't do that. A lot of women can't do that because you've been created your own lifestyle. You've created a way of living for yourself. And so most men don't want to come into your world. He wants to bring his family into his because he's been preparing for that. So I think that's the issue that a lot of women face. And this is why they can't work out in a relationship. This is why they're always leaving, because they cannot let go or understand how men think, what men were taught, what men look for versus what they've created for themselves and what they've been taught. And they don't feel like, oh, why should I give up my shit? Ain't nobody saying, but if you want a man, you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to compromise, right? It's not giving up. He's not trying to take all your money and do all that. He probably could care less. You could still have your money. But if what's his becomes yours, then what's yours becomes his. And that's what they don't want. See, it's all good as long as the man has the majority, because you can benefit from that. But when you have something, women don't want to compromise with what they have, but they want you to compromise on everything that you have. And that's what men are realizing, and that's why they don't want no parts of it. Successful MD, thank you for the super chat. Says, older celebs are examples of single and lonely. #fail. Oh my God. Yeah, they are. And they're trying to make it look good, but it doesn't look good. You're supposed to be these 10s that's so attractive and all these so successful. Y'all don't. It happens to men too. But I'm saying women just think that it's not supposed to happen to them, but it does. Thank you, Successful MD. Right. Men are learning to use D&D on the wallets. Exactly. Yeah, because it doesn't benefit them, and you shouldn't just be out here just giving your money just willy-nilly. Like it wasn't, it didn't take a lot for you to establish yourself. No, and I think that's what women don't care. They don't care. Thank you, Successful MD, once again. They don't care what it took for you to get to where you are. They just want what you got, and that's it. And then when it's gone, they don't give a damn still. Let's women project onto men the greed for all of their assets that they actually have toward the men. It's always a projection. You know what I mean? Let's continue.
It intimidates them.
I agree with that, because I used to feel that way too. Like, I used to think, he gonna care that I got my degree. He gonna care that I'm successful. He gonna care that I got my own shit. I pay my own bills. No, men do not care about that. I always say, just get rid of your shit, because they like girls without anything.
Wow.
Just get rid of your shit.
Yeah. If you want a man that bad, I don't want one that bad. I'm keeping my shit.
Can we really talk about it? I'm not getting rid of my big dogs.
Right.
They say that's another thing that scares men away. Like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I want a farm man anyway.
Yeah.
I want cows. Like,
Yeah.
I need you to like big animals.
It's so crazy because it really is hard to find a man that can just really support you and be happy and be like, look at my girl. Like, you think that everybody wants to praise Jay-Z and Beyonce, but a lot of y'all could not be Jay-Z sitting there in the crowd cheering for her like that. They can't. And Jay-Z be like this.
Yeah.
Happy as hell. And y'all be praising, but y'all not Beyonce. Okay, but you not Jay-Z either.
Yeah, and I don't think that it's difficult to find a man that has your back and supports you in what you're doing. I just think they are having a hard time because they're not looking for those types of guys. That's the problem. I think there are men who definitely cheer on their wives. Yeah. What are y'all looking for? Y'all want it, and I think a lot of people want success too soon. You want all of the accolades and the benefits of something in the beginning where you're trying to build a relationship with the person. Y'all got to understand that a lot of these things, it happens over time. Like, you just can't meet somebody and be like, oh, they just got to be head over heels and for you and all. No, you got to get to know the person. Like, come on, like, y'all, they're so used to superficial situationships. You don't understand what it takes to build a relationship for real. Like, come on, y'all are jumping the gun. You want everything just popcorn quick. Like, boom, you need to be doing all this for me right away. No, he don't know you. Like, y'all, that's the whole point of getting to know each other. So you can establish something and you build that over years. But they don't want that, child. Captain Caveman, thank you once again for the super chat. Says they praise initial success and worship failed results. Working backwards and passing down trauma to younger females, shaking my head. Right. Thank you, Captain Caveman. Right. And it's like, I just think everything is so backwards. You're so backwards. Manny E, thank you once again for the super chat. Says Beyonce was groomed by Jay-Z at a young age. These girls forget that, speaking in that clip. Exactly. He was fooling with that girl allegedly. How old? She was young. And so, yeah, and I'm like, but that's something they don't like either, but you ignore it when it comes to celebrities. Like, y'all forget that was a thing when it comes to celebrities. This is why I say the conversations are one-sided. You can't really listen to what these women are saying because they'll have you confused, especially young people who are unknowing, you know? Thank you, Manny E. I appreciate you for the super chat. Yeah, I mean, that's not a good example. And y'all don't know what she's going through or what he's going through. Both of them, that don't seem, to me, honestly, Jay-Z and Beyonce don't seem like no super happy relationship to me. You know, I feel like this was a convenient situation that they hooked up together out of convenience or for public viewing. I don't see them as a happy couple, honestly. You know, but it is what it is. People want to look at That's why I don't like to look at celebrities and use them as examples because you know, you just don't know what be going on behind the scenes with these people. It'd be a lot of other stuff going on. It just don't be your average relationship where you got to go through stuff and you got to really go through things with the person and you really care for them. A lot of them be put together and don't really be love involved. It's just, it's for good for your careers and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't really look at celebrity couples and use them as real examples because I don't think that they are. Yep. So yeah, I just think once again, you got to stop saying that certain things don't exist just because you don't have it. Just because you haven't come across a good man that's cheering you on and rooting for you, don't say that they don't exist because they do. You know what I mean? And I think there are good men out there who are supportive of their wives, and just like wives are supportive of their husbands. And you know, listen, I got a degree, a bachelor's degree when I was pregnant years ago that I really wished I wouldn't have done. But it was something that was important to me at the time because I felt like, once again, using my feelings, like, oh my God, I need to have something as a woman. I need to have something of my own. I need to have something to feel accomplished because it's part of who we are. This is why I get it. Yeah, as a woman, I get the plight of women because I know how we feel and what we think. I too felt and thought the same way. But I was married and already we had children. I was pregnant. Probably would have one of them then, but I felt like I need to get my degree because this is what we were taught. You're supposed to do all this stuff. Haven't used it to this day. Now I think there's some benefits of it, but I mean, I don't use it. It was a waste of money in my opinion. But did I, even though my husband probably was like, there ain't something you really need to do. You at home, you're a housewife. You don't need to, you ain't where you working at. You ain't going to try to get no job. But I'm like, oh, well, you know, we think, it's a backup something, or maybe, you know, it won't hurt to have it. And he was very he probably was apprehensive about it, but he was like, you know what? I get it. You know, the way you think and the way you was raised, I get it. Okay, it ain't hurting me. You able to, you know, do what you do. And I did a lot of it online. So it was easy for me to do it and still raise my kids and tend to my children. So, but it was hard ass work trying to balance the two. But my husband was very supportive of that. He was like, oh, hell no, you ain't going to get no degree. No, he was very supportive of it. It didn't get in the way of anything. You know, even if he had his you know, doubts about it or whatever, it didn't get in the way. He was very supportive. Had the graduation, he right there cheering me on, supportive the whole way. So there are men who will support you even in things that they don't fully agree with sometimes, but they know, hey, that's something that you had to do to get that out of your mind. And then it took me to do it. And then years later, be like, damn it, I should have never even did that. I don't use it. I didn't need it to this day. So it's like, you know, and you have to come around. Sometimes you have to let people come around to see things for themselves, because no matter what you tell them, they may not get it. So some things you gotta go through it to see for yourself and then realize it without him having to tell you anything. But he was very supportive. So you can't tell me there aren't supportive men out here who support their wives and their women in the things that they want to do. There are men out here. Just because you haven't come across it don't mean that it doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just my thoughts on that. But I want to move to this last clip that I want to share with y'all. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Hell, I needed to hit the like button. I didn't even hit the like button myself. Oh my God. Let's move on to this next clip. Here we go.
Asked me a question. She was like, man, everybody always want to know why I'm single. I get so many likes online, and it's like everybody just want to love me because I'm pretty, but nobody ever stays. And I said, friend, you ever saw a car that is for sale, and that bitch look amazing. I'm talking about the tires nice, rims popping, interior on point, like everything. But then when you go to crank that mug up, it sound like like somebody clearing their throat. I say that's what you call a lemon. And with lemons, you either try to fix them, but when you realize you put so much money into it, but nothing ever really changed, you get rid of it. Like, you don't keep it. You either give it to somebody else or you junk that mug. I say, I think that's why you single, friend.
Oh.
You might be a lemon.
Ooh.
She blocked me.
Ooh. Jala, keep it 100. Oh my God. That's how I feel. I be like, tell the truth. Tell the truth. You know, it is the truth shall set you free. God damn it. Tell the truth. You know, point it out, especially if somebody is asking you. If you have a friend and they're asking you why they think you single, or they're talking to you in confidence, and they're like, well, I don't know why every time I meet somebody, they're not really taking me seriously, never go nowhere. What? Tell them the problem is probably you. And too many people don't want to look at themselves. Too many people don't want to look inward. Too many people want to always think that the problem is somebody else when the problem is more than likely you. You know, Successful MD says, nah, looks good, but the odometer says I can't. Right. Oh, odometer. Is it odometer or odometer? How do you say that? Odometer? Is it odometer? I don't know, child. I don't know about no damn cars. Odometer or odometer, one of them. But I get your point, Successful MD. I appreciate you. Yoix Every TV, what's going on? Thank you for the super chat. Says, I didn't find my wife when I was in my 20s. Now push 40s, nothing. But leftover women, I give up. Not being the cleanup guy, told I hate them now, child. I get it, and that's how a lot of men think, and you know, it is what it is. That's why I say there's gonna be a lot of single men and single women too. But what we see mostly is the single women complaining about being single, saying they don't need a man. Well, and I know that that's not true. Thank you, Yoix Eric TV. Yo, it's Eric TV. Thank you for the super chat, bro. I appreciate you. Odometer. Okay, got it. Successful MD. Odometer. Okay, got it. But yeah, I think that once again, you know, and I really don't want to come off as a woman basher, because I'm not. I'm just realistic. That's all. And I just want women to get it, because I think we have a lot of good women out here, but you can't see it because they've been indoctrinated into this foolishness mindset that's going against what they actually want. And I think women need to learn better, and which now we're starting to see more women recognizing the truth, and a lot of women being a little bit more accountable. I see, but it's not enough. And I just think thinking this way just keeps you stuck. It keeps you in this mentality that is not conducive to what you say you want. And I think women need to realize that. And I don't think that men are just all great. I think there's some men out here who need to learn. I think there's a lot of things that men need to learn as well. I don't think you should think think it's cool to go out here and just throw your seed everywhere and make babies all over the place, and just because you can, and not taking relationships seriously and things of that nature. I think there's work to be done on both sides, but I would be lying if I didn't think that, if I said that women don't need the most work. I personally think that women, once again, are the ones who are in more of a denial state. And I think that they are more of a problem than the men. I just do, because I see too much. And I've seen too much that's been ignored. And now it's to a point to where now it's hard to fix. So I do think women have more to fix, period. I just do. Captain Caveman, thank you once again for the super chat. Says, sounds like a 450 block engine. Dumb lollipop, child. Oh my God. Thank you, Captain Caveman, once again. I appreciate you. Yeah, I just, I just think women got more work. I do. Because they're super in denial, super unrealistic, super delusional more than ever now. And I just think, more of the work needs to be done with our women, for sure. For sure. And so it's not bashing women. It's just saying, hey, listen, we've already, y'all are saying men are this and they're that and they need work. But what about you? Just because you point out somebody else doesn't mean that you are exempt from putting in work. Doesn't mean that you don't have things that you need to work on. It's too much of male bashing. That's what we do see. A lot of man bashing. Men at the bottom of the barrel, they're just dusty. Oh, they're going overseas. They're the bottom of the barrel and they're this and they're that. But we never point out the women. And that's where I come in. Because I just think if we all need work, certainly women need a lot of work. Y'all are not exempt. You are not. And just because you can look cute and you can say what you want to say don't mean that you got it all together either. And we've seen time and time again more examples that prove that a lot of these women need a lot of work, and they're in denial, but it doesn't mean that it's not true. So yeah, that's my perspective, and I'm standing by it because I see too much, and I listen to women, and I hear what they say, and it's not every single woman out here, but it's a lot of them that feel the same way. And then when I start talking, they look at me sideways, like what? Oh, you're not a part of the sisterhood. Oh, you're not a girl's girl. No, I'm okay. I know how to deal with women and men. I know how to have a conversation with women. I could be a cool person, and a friend to you. But if my friendship means that I have to be delusional and that I have to lie to you and tell you things just because you want to hear it, then no, I'm not going to be the friend for you. And that's the type of stuff that I've come in contact with, where you got to be delusional. And it's not all women. Trust me, y'all come across some women who get it, but a lot of them, they look at you sideways like, oh, okay. And then they don't want to fool with you. And I'm like, okay, cool. This is why I say I don't have a bunch of women friends, because of that reason. You don't really like what I'm saying. And they don't know how to separate having a friendship versus opinions. You don't know how to separate the fact that she has a difference of opinion, but you know what? I don't care. She's still cool, my friend, whatever. They don't know how to separate it. It's like you want an echo chamber. You can only be friends with people that see your way. And to me, that's not a true friendship, because I need to be able to be myself and think how I want to have my own brain, and not my brain be connected to yours. And it's a bunch of foolishness that I don't agree with. No, I can understand you think the way you think, but hey, outside of that, we have a cordial conversations and cool. And we see each other for who we are as people, not our opinions. I could disagree with you all day and still be cool with you. But not everybody really thinks like that. A lot of people be faking the funk. Like they want, because they don't agree with you. They're like, oh, they take it personal and literally like, I don't really like that B because she don't agree with me. No, that's so stupid. I think that's a childish mentality, that you got to grow up and grow beyond the fact that everybody don't think like you. Some people are the best of friends, but they don't agree on a lot of stuff. But they understand, hey, we don't agree on that, but we're good friends to each other. I don't have to agree with your politics to be friends with you. I don't have to agree with your sexual preferences to be a friend with you. I don't have to agree with every single thing. If we've built the friendship off of just each other and who we are as people, that's what matters, not who you voted for or, how you like to date or whatever. That should be separate from that. I think a lot of people don't know how to do that. They don't. Because you know how you could connect with the person on a certain level, but other things y'all don't connect on. But the main things you connect on are essential for good relationships and friendships. You could be a good person. You help that person out in a tough time, and you didn't care their political views or you didn't care their dating status. You just saw that person and that person needed help and you helped them and you reached out and you didn't judge them based on the other stuff. You just saw a person in need and you helped them. A lot of times when people see that's something greater than all of the other stuff. And that's how people have connected and become really good friends. They come from totally different walks of life. They're on the opposite spectrum of certain things, but they're friends. And people be like, this is an unlikely pair. Right. You don't see that too often because people have been conditioned to believe that folks have to agree with them, or if not, they're the enemy. The same way we look at people having their political views, spiritual views, Christian views. You don't know how to see people for who they are. You just assume that if they think a certain way, if they vote a certain way, if they believe a certain way, that they're bad and your way is good, and you judge like that. So it's a lot. But anyway, child, and yeah, everybody thinks different. Everybody's not the same. But if you find a good person, this is the whole, this has a lot to do. I mean, we could go deep with it, because even when we think of racism and a person who was deemed, I was just watching this movie, I forget the movie, name, but it was Taraji P. Henson in it. It was this movie is old where she was a parent and I don't know what else she did, but the guy she worked with was he was with the KKK. He was like a leader of the KKK. This is a true story based on a true story where how they became the best of friends. A black woman friends with a lead KKK member at the time, but his son was autistic and she helped him out. He couldn't even pay for his son's to stay in the hospital. I forget the name of the movie, but she ended up helping him. And she's telling him, look, you got these views, but you broke just like us. You're in the same boat as us. She helped him out. And then they ended up becoming friends for years before they passed away. But it just shows you find friends in the most unlikely places. But society as a whole does not want you to think like that because it will bridge people together. And they don't want people together. You want to keep people being racist, to keep them separate, keep people thinking like that. Because if you could get everybody to come together and really put the differences aside, but just look at people for who they are, it would be a whole totally different world. But that's not how the most people are. But anyway, I get it. But anyway, y'all, we've come to the 2-hour mark. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Shout out to everybody in the building, everybody who supports the channel, everybody who gave super chats or cash apps. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. It helps in a lot of different ways, y'all. So thank you once again for that. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to everybody who supports the channel. Make sure you are watching the videos that are posted on the channel. Y'all, I try to post videos every single day. So make sure you are supporting by watching, liking, and leaving a comment just to let me know it's real. Also, if you are in the building and you like the content and you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button. It is free to subscribe, y'all. So make sure you are doing that and hit the like button on your way out. All right. All right. So thank y'all once again. Make sure you are supporting in any way, y'all. We have merchandise, t-shirts, mugs. Also support my husband's singles. He have 3 singles out. The link is in my description. Go over and support that if you like the music. That definitely helps as well. So make sure you're supporting in any way possible, you guys. Once again, I appreciate y'all for being here, for rocking with me, for laughing with me, for listening to anything that I gotta say. I appreciate y'all for that. So I appreciate you guys once again. Love y'all. Make sure you are safe out here in these streets. And I will catch y'all in the next one. All right, y'all. So be safe. Till next time, you guys, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Laugh and my heart chokes. Like Midas, everything you touch turns gold. You dance in the hallway like nobody's told. You say my name so softly, like it's I did a word. Yeah. Every time you're near me, all my doubts get blurred. You take my day, turn it bright, brand new. Every look you give says I choose you. I get more than anybody ever could. You get me in a way I never understood. And every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I get it's all about your dreams, eyes wide, shining clear. And you tell the wildest stories I could listen for years. And you roll your eyes and kiss me when I'm stubborn and proud. You pull me back to center when my thoughts get loud. You take my fear, turn it into truth. Yeah. Every time you touch me, I remember you. I get more than anybody ever could. You get me, in a way I never understood. Every little smile, every little move you do. Ooh, baby, I don't need a reason. I just know. I just know I get. When the world feels heavy on my shoulders, you lean in, lay your head right over mine. You say we can carry this together, and just like that, know I get you. I get you.